was told that Wutai said that you have some major announcement. Perhaps we can get a sneak preview.
Sure. 3 weeks ago, we issued a new decision that provides funding for California's energy efficiency programs over the next 3 years. And it's $3.1 billion US. There's a small charge that is put on everybody's electric and natural gas, your monthly energy bill. But in addition, we have other money that's coming from the federal government, the federal stimulus money, and there are tax credits. So the very good news is there's actually a lot of money now available for energy efficiency, and we're able to really make this a very significant part of our energy efforts in California.
What are some of the major components in that program?
There are programs for residential customers, there's program for commercial customers with office buildings, agricultural, industry. There's a whole effort on workforce training, there's an effort on marketing and education. So basically we've tried to make sure that there's something for everybody. Well, let me tell you one exciting area, which is on home retrofits, that overall we're devoting about $900 million to making homes and apartments in California more efficient. And we will be launching the largest home retrofit program in the country. We also have a whole exciting new area called commercial benchmarking, which is basically for the office buildings built in California. We're going to be benchmarking how much energy they use when they do an energy retrofit, how much money they save. And this is the type of information that people involved in this area are eager for and hungry for, and we're going to be making it available not just to people in California, but nationally and internationally.
How has the economic downturn and specifically California's fiscal mess, how has that affected negatively, or has that helped your energy efficiency plan?
It's had mixed results. Under state law, our energy efficiency programs must be cost effective. In other words, we as state government must show that there's as much savings by not building the more expensive power plants as there is in the cost of the program. So we've been able to weather the economic downturn because that's our guiding principle. But it's also difficult that we use these monies to help ordinary people or businesses if, say, they want to change out the windows in their home, or if they want to put in more efficient lighting in their office building. Our programs help buy down the cost of doing that, maybe pay for half the cost.
You also mentioned collaboration with China. What's going on there? Anything new and exciting?
We have set aside $185 million to do what's called zero net energy buildings over the next 3 years. And these are building super efficient buildings, and then also using solar water heating or other renewables, so that you can think about it that the building doesn't take power off of the grid, but instead contributes to the grid. And we chose this as an area of focus because we do want to build the smartest buildings in California, but we're setting it up in a way that all the information we have about how do you build these buildings, what are the costs, what is the technical information, is going to be available to people in China, to the government there and to the developers, so we can learn what's going on in China in these areas and also showcase some of the things we're doing here.
What are the things that have worked really well in your effort in this area? And what do you think are hurdles that you haven't anticipated?
What I think has worked really well is the tremendous interest there is in energy efficiency. Certainly I'm thrilled that we have a new government in Washington, D.C., and Dr. Steve Chu, who is the head of the Department of Energy, comes from California, and he actually helped us develop the document that guides our efforts, the California Long-Term Energy Efficiency Strategic Plan. So that's some of the areas that have worked the best, that we have national leadership. I've also been extremely pleased with the level of interest we have from private businesses that understand that there's frankly a lot of money to be made by figuring out how to build smart appliances and sell them, figuring out how to build smart buildings. And I think that's the key, is having businesses get involved. What I think is still a challenge is most people have no idea of what is energy efficiency. What do you do? Why do I do it?
It just beats me that people have to use their dryers. I'm from China, so I dry laundry. Are people ever going to do that in this country?
Actually, I started my husband and I about 2 years ago, where we have our clothes hanging outside to dry. And once you do it, it's actually a great feeling. It's like the smell of the clothes is wonderful. What you bring up is there's a whole cultural issue to energy and energy efficiency. And what I would first say is, for those countries who are still doing line drying, like in China or India, we want to think about, or the governments there want to think about, how it can be seen as something positive and not backwards. And then here in the United States, we also want it to become part of the culture and the value. I grew up where you would be driving in a car and people wouldn't think twice about throwing an empty soda can out the window of a car. And we have in 20 years changed that mentality in the United States, where it is really viewed terrible to litter. And I'm confident that we can have that happen with energy efficiency if we have people start to make the connection that if you use your dryer without thinking, that's really using energy, and behind that might be a coal plant, and that's leading to the carbon emissions that we need to avoid.
When will people start seeing the actual implementation of this?
Well, we have programs going on right now, so anybody who's interested, you can get in touch with your local utility in the Bay Area. It's Pacific Gas and Electric. You can check our website, the California Public Utilities Commission. We have a brand new website called CaliforniaEnergyEfficiency.com, and that gives information about the existing programs, and then we'll be launching these new programs starting in January. So many people think, well, it's way off, it's another decade or two away, and the great thing is we can actually do an awful lot of that right now, and this is a sort of reason why I participate in events like this, and why I am so interested in working with China, is that we all show these are activities we can take now, and we can be reducing our carbon emissions now. We don't need to wait another decade, and we can't wait another decade.
Something you can do every day.
Yeah, that's right.